The Oscar winner and his wife were both found dead at their home in New Mexico.
All right, let's get right to Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini in the newsroom with new information on what happened and the details of the 911 call that just came in tonight. Stephanie.
Yes, Steve, Natasha, we've been monitoring the developments throughout the day. Here's what we know now. Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, were found dead at their home in New Mexico. Investigators believe their bodies had been there for a while. One of their dogs was also found dead in a kennel. Two other dogs were found alive. There was no sign of struggle, nothing missing from the home, according to investigators. So right now, they don't believe foul play was involved. However, investigators say they haven't ruled that out. Whether or not carbon monoxide poisoning could be to blame for the deaths is being considered. We know pills were found inside the home, but investigators haven't elaborated on that component of the investigation. Also, investigators say a security guard found the bodies, but a 911 call has been released from an emotional caretaker from the property. He can be heard begging police to send help. Here's what officials had to say just a short time ago in a news conference.
It's not normal to find two people deceased in the residence. That's concerning. And then there was also a dog that was in a kennel that was also found deceased. We don't know the cause of that, obviously.
Gene Hackman was 95 years old. His wife, Betsy, was 64 years old. Hackman had a very long and successful career in Hollywood, and we're taking a look back now at the legacy he leaves behind.
Life is up there, and life always matters very much.
With over half a century in the public eye, Gene Hackman will be remembered for his intensity, charisma, and magnetism.
This was an actor who really dominated the screen when he was on it, but it wasn't, he could play formidable, ferocious villains, but he could also, play these kind of self-destructively obsessive characters. And, the guy had an incredible range.
Born January 30th, 1930 in San Bernardino, California, Eugene Alden Hackman grew up in Danville, Illinois. He dropped out of high school at 16 and lied about his age to join the Marines, serving for 4.5 years. While in the military, he worked as an announcer on Armed Forces Radio. Hackman made his way to New York in 1951, hoping to become an actor. And in 1958, he made his first appearance on the New York stage in Chaparral. 3 years later, he made his feature film debut with a small non-speaking role in Mad Dog Call. Hackman's Broadway debut came in 1964 with Any Wednesday. His first major film role was in Lilith.
Gene Hackman's peers really understood and acknowledged his greatness from the beginning. Like right at the start with Bonnie and Clyde in 1968, he was nominated for an Oscar, the first of 5 such nominations, and he won a few years later for The French Connection. He got his second Oscar win for Unforgiven 2 decades later.
In 2003, Hackman starred in the legal thriller Runaway Jury, where he got a chance to act with his longtime friend, Dustin Hoffman.
What interests me about acting is that somewhat common characters put in uncommon situations. And what do you do? How do you react to certain things, given that you're a common man?
In 2008, Hackman stepped away from acting. He went on to write several books. Painting was one of his hobbies.
Hackman had 3 children with his first wife. They divorced in 1986. In 91, he remarried his second wife, Betsy, and of course, they remained together until their deaths. Now, we just got a statement from Hackman's daughters and granddaughter. In it, it reads, he was loved and admired by millions around the world for his brilliant acting career. But to us, he was also just dad and grandpa. We will miss him sorely and are devastated by the loss. Natasha, Steve, back to you.
Yeah, well said indeed, for sure. All right, thanks.